do not get stuck in this for too long, because like I said, it can corrode your self-esteem from the inside out, it can really disempower you, and it can make people lose respect for you. Sympathy seeking. Why do we do it, and how can we stop it? So what is sympathy seeking? Sympathy seeking is when we try to elicit sympathy from another person, or pity. And in a perverse way, this can sometimes feel good because it feels like a proximal emotion to love. Why would we do this? It might be because we feel so starved of love and starved of attention. We're trying to get our needs met through the back door by being sneaky about it and complaining about our lives, about how much our lives suck, or about how much something has happened, or whatever else. The problem with this behaviour is that it's not empowering, it keeps our self-esteem low, and it does not make us feel good ultimately. It might feel good in the moment, but it is not good. No one wants people to feel sorry for them. Really. People want to be empowered, people want to enjoy their lives. The only reason someone might do this is because they think that it could get their needs met. And the most important thing, first of all, is to become aware that you might be doing it. Now, this is something I'm talking about because I know, I've done it before myself, unconsciously. You'll find children doing it a lot, where they start like crying and things like that because they want a hug from their parents. And it's something we all do, okay? If we're honest with ourselves, we all do. Sometimes life does suck, and sometimes we want someone to be in it with us, and we want empathy, sympathy, whatever else. And that's normal to an extent. The problem arises when it becomes a habitual pattern and it actually starts to happen unconsciously. The thing is, people don't really like this behavior because it's seen as manipulative, and people see it as you playing the victim. And to a large extent, they are not wrong, because actually you are falling into this victim role. The thing that is extremely important to recognize, and it can be difficult at times, is to realize that no one has an easy life. And I know that can be difficult to actually fathom, but no one really does. Life in itself is very difficult, and life can be really full of challenges, full of traumas, full of losses. Even if you're comparing yourself to someone who has a great support network, they have a lot of money, they have all the trappings of a great life, they are still going to lose people. They are still going to die. They are still going to get ill from time to time. You never know what's going to happen in this. It's not as if one life is plain sailing and the other one's complete crap. Everyone's life is full of a rich tapestry of highs, lows, etc. and everything in between. We can start to feel sorry for ourselves if we have been denied, or if we've been a have-not in some area of our life. It can start to become a pattern of, okay, I belong down here, I am a victim, and you can start to elicit sympathy because you don't feel that you can stand in your power and get love. You're worthy of love right here, right now. It doesn't matter what you do, what you have done, what you say, what you look like. It doesn't matter, you're worthy of love. This is just a fact. Even if you don't believe it, it's the truth. The same with me, the same with anyone. Just by inherently existing, you are worthy of love. We all want attention, and we all want to be seen and heard and honored and respected. And the thing is, if you have not had the experience in your life where you've received those things, this can be the reason sometimes that we try to get our needs met through this sneaky backdoor strategy, because it feels like love. So let's suppose you've had the experience where you haven't had your needs met on XYZ fronts, but then you have started to cry, or you've started to complain about how bad things are and moan about how bad things are, and then people say, oh, that sucks, and they actually give you the time of day, they speak to you, they give you energy. This can sometimes feel like love, so you have an unconscious incentive to actually keep this around. But the problem is, if you keep singing that same old tune, you're just going to keep getting the same feelings, which is disempowerment. You're diminishing your own self-esteem, and it's just not worth it. But again, a lot of people do this unconsciously. And if you actually try to work on this pattern and you find yourself reverting back to old ways, no big deal. Because again, we're human beings. Sometimes we're going to do this, and sometimes it's going to be natural, and in certain quantities it's okay. If someone is having a bad day, if you're having a bad day and you just want a bit of attention, you want a hug, you want someone to sympathize with you. But the problem is, do not get stuck in this for too long, because like I said, it can corrode your self-esteem from the inside out, it can really disempower you, and it can make people lose respect for you. This can become a vicious cycle, because then you can start to think, why does no one respect me? My life sucks. In many respects, your life does suck because you're making it suck to a large degree. That's not me saying that everything in life is your fault. There are terrible things in life. Maybe your life does suck in some aspects, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. The thing to recognize is that everyone's life sucks in some kind of way at some times. Sometimes we have control over it, sometimes we don't. Life is full of ups and downs, so no one really is a victim. Even when you've been a victim of something, none of us are inherently, perpetually, constantly a victim. And this is important to remember. Now, some people go through a lot of abuse, and if you're listening to this and you've gone through a lot of abuse, I don't want you to be offended by what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that it is all about empowerment, trying to get to the state of empowerment and self-sovereignty and confidence in ourselves. And the way to actually achieve this is stop these kind of behaviors and start to implement behaviors that are going to empower us. And if you're doing this unconsciously, please listen to me, because this is not going to help you actually. Doing this behavior to try to get sympathy, etc. is a short-term fix, and it is not gratifying ultimately, and it is not going to get you what you want. If you've got something out of this video, please give me a comment, because it'd be really great to hear from you and interact. I know it can be hard to admit if you've got this pattern, and it can feel really vulnerable, and it is a pattern that wants to stay in the shadow and doesn't want to be acknowledged because it's trying to hide all the time from us. But By becoming aware of these patterns, we can actually improve our lives. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the flip side. Ciao for now. Bye.